We can edit this all out, right? The laughing
money.
Okay.
Shit, my bad, yo.
Shay bringing the human element.
Yeah.
We are here at the Paycom Center here in Oklahoma City. First and foremost, we are here celebrating our sports and music issues with the cover stars. I first want to address this to Shai and Give. Obviously, you guys come from two different worlds, sports and music. I would love for y'all to touch on how Simon has been able to help y'all think long-term about success and longevity and what that looks like under his watch.
I mean, for me, when I met them, I was still a server. I was kind of antsy about everything when it comes to deals. I wanted to do everything right away. And like the biggest thing he taught me about longevity was building up your leverage. And that comes with quality, that comes with being patient. And it's just like having some business acumen too. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways.
I remember you were dog walking too back in the day.
Yeah.
You told me. Yeah.
I always had a little entrepreneurial spirit.
That's what I'm saying. You got the hustle spirit in you.
I hated that shit though. I miss the dogs though, but I'd rather be doing this for sure.
I ain't mad at that. Well, what about you, Shai?
Yeah, for me, he came into my life as a friend at first, and our relationship was just organic. I had an approach on the court that I had really honed in on and like understood, like you said, longevity, being a professional and those type of things. But he really showed me how to like take that approach in the business side of life in the world. And from there, everything skyrocketed. He unlocked a bunch of doors I'd never even seen. He changed my life for sure.
And he a wizard. He really is a wizard.
I mean, brother man. You know? Brother man. I mean, listen, you know, we're here obviously before the sports and music issue. You're at the heart of it with two superstars. Why do you think now more than ever sports and music is so like tightly conjoined, the worlds? Why are they like so close together right now?
Sports and music is something that have always coincided kind of hand in hand. Honestly, I don't know what the reason is for it, but I do notice it a lot. I just feel like it's like sports and music is such huge parts of the culture. And there's so much overlap in both of those worlds. It's not easy to make them both coexist at all times. Sometimes it comes across like inorganic. Doing it the right way, you could bring out the best of both worlds.
Shai, Give, do y'all see any similarities in how sports and music come together?
I think like Simon just said, it's the culture. And honestly speaking, I think music more so than sports. Everybody listens to music.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of music. You don't have to fit a certain frame to partake in it. Like
Right.
it could just be who you are. And I think it being like so subjective helps. Anyone in the world can pick it up and anyone in the world can think it's fire. So it's dope.
I agree. Good.
I think for me, it's like even the discipline that an athlete has to have, a lot of musicians, we kind of pull from that or we try to emulate it, especially being on tour. I can't just be running around indulging too much.
Looking crazy.
I still have to have shows to do.
Yeah.
So, and I think there also is a line where sometimes musicians want to be athletes.
Yeah.
Athletes want to be musicians. So it's just like always mixing up.
Kobe made music.
Yeah.
AI made music. It's like, it's always been a thing. Especially rappers and basketball players. I feel like
They feel
those two
they're
worlds coincide
the
so
same
much.
people. They feel like they do the same sport sometimes.
Shai, you've been dropping these bars on the gram way too damn long, my brother. I'm waiting for an EP.
Yeah, you gotta keep
He got the producers on deck. You got a hook man right
For
here.
real, I'll sing some.
I can sing too, but like we'll say that. For
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Say less.
He has a low register.
All right.
Really does.
No, now he getting into it.
I mean, Shai, like, where did the bars come from when you started teasing on the gram?
I first and foremost just love music.
Yeah.
Like I'm always listening to music. Music is like second nature. There's always music in the background. I just like play around with words and when things are going on in my life, the world, what's trending, what just happened in the game, whatever it is. And then I just found a little bit of fun with it, you know, kind of taking it around with it.
He just freestyles sometimes out of nowhere. Mind blowing. I'm like, damn, how'd you do that? I think it's a secret talent he has that he doesn't want to show the world.
Simon, I gotta ask you, what's the hardest part of managing superstardom across two different worlds, knowing that the pressure, the pacing, and public expectations look totally different?
Shai said it earlier. It's two different types of pressure because I think in Shai's field, I mean, he's on the court. That's kind of where his results come from. I can't really do anything to that. It's not subjective, where GIVEON's world is more subjective. You need to think about your rollout, your creative, how the songs sound. Music's subjective. Your whole circle could say this is a perfect album. But if the world doesn't receive it like that, nothing we could do. But in Shai's regard, like, if he goes out and does what he does, he's winning MVP. It's like, opinions don't matter at that point, right? Except obviously for the voting committee. But so it's two different types of pressure, but both of them make it really easy being amazing at what they do. They love their craft. So it's not really much like pick-me-ups or anything like that. Like, they're the best at what they do, so it makes it easy.
For Simon, for him, I would think it would be easier because what he does is like, it's the same standard to reach success no matter what you're doing. And he just holds you to that, like no matter what it is. We've gone into like deals and Simon will think higher than what I would think about myself. I'm a very confident dude, but just like in certain instances, he always has this standard that he holds you to, and I don't think who he manages would change that standard, and that's what allows who he works with to have success.
And the same for me. Even like I said, I was a server, so I was like, this is a nice number, and they 10x'd it. But that's why I'm also able to take my time with my creative process, because we don't say yes to any and everything. We're financially healthy, I'll say.
Let me pose this to you, Give. You've had a banner year this year. I mean, phenomenal album with Beloved. You sold out the Garden.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you still feel like you're yearning or chasing at this early part of your career? Do you kind of feel like you checked off those boxes? I
want to do like a full arena tour, just because the quality of the show could be at the highest level for each and every city. MSG, we added a couple more band pieces and stuff like that. So I want everyone to get the same experience across the board. And I want a Grammy, so
hey.
I would like a Grammy. Please, come on. Yeah, I got 8 nominations now.
Hey, talk that shit, brother.
No, I'm begging. No, I'm not talking shit. Please don't get it confused. I would like one, please.
I mean, Simon, yeah, talk about Give's growth over these last 5 years since you guys started working.
Yeah, it's been insane. Like you said, when we met him, he was walking dogs.
Yeah.
Serving at bubblegum shrimp. So it's like, actually,
Really going into it, huh?
Shai actually met GIVEON at the same time we did. Back when Shai was a rookie on the Clippers.
Wow.
Yeah, so
how did that come about?
we were just like, me and Shai and EK were just chilling, and we're like, yeah, like we're about to pull up at Seven's house, right?
Yeah.
Pull up and meet GIVEON, and Shai, I think he just finished the game.
Yeah.
He came to Seven's, right?
Yeah,
It's something like that.
yeah.
We all just met up at our Seven Thomas's house, me, EK, and Shai, and then GIVEON was there. That ascension kind of happened kind of at the same time. Shai was a rookie in the NBA. Giv was
A rookie.
Yeah, a rookie, literally. Less than a rookie. You were walking dogs at that point. But yeah, like to see, no disrespect. But to
Say that part of the bio.
yeah, to see how far he's come. Like, also he was one of those artists that I call them the COVID babies. There's a couple artists that like popped during COVID that didn't have a live experience. His first festival, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Main stage. So it's like his first time really, like, I think when he opened on tour for the first time, he only had covers to perform.
Yeah.
And then it went to like, okay, now he has a body of work, and it's like he's performing at Lollapalooza main stage. He kind of had to like jump right into it, into the deep end. And then it was like Wireless, Coachella, Met Gala, like it was a quick ascension. And then when the world opened back up, he started like, adjusting back into like, okay, this is how it feels like to be an artist in the regular world. Yeah, just his growth as a songwriter. We were just talking about it the other day. He's grown so much in that regard, being involved in the music side of things. Like now he's like damn near a producer at this point. He's like, oh, add this here. I want it to sound like this. Where in the beginning of his career, I think like he would hear music that was handed off to him and he'd be like, yeah, I could go on this. Now it's like he's like putting the music together.
Yeah.
Live band in the studio. So I don't even want to walk in sometimes. I feel like I'm like messing up the process. That's how musical it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, just seeing that growth is crazy.
I love that. I love that. For you, Shai, you had an incredible year last year. I'm talking MVP, finals MVP, winning the chip. How do you stay motivated? And is there really anything for you to chase internally?
When I was a kid, like I picked up the basketball to see how good I could become. My goals and my aspirations are things that like were on a list and they just like are along the way. But like my final product is like just trying to see what I can become. And I like to think I'm far from that, being 27 years old. A lot of game to be played, a lot of game to learn. So yeah, that's my motivation. Like, I would be wasting the opportunity if I didn't see how good at this game I could become. And wherever that takes me, it takes me.
I gotta say, man, you're 27, but you've been getting these MJ comparisons. How have you balanced the weight of those comparisons while still trying to make your own legacy as Shai?
I'd be lying if I said that like it wasn't flattering. Like being in conversation with a guy like that, who is the face of basketball, is pretty insane. Honestly speaking, I don't really love them just because he's three-peated twice. What he did for the sneaker business, like everything he's been to the game, I think it's a disservice to like compare me 7 years in to what he's been. So I don't love them, but I appreciate them.
Right.
Just because it's greatness at the highest form, and that's what I'm after, that's what I'm chasing. And that's what I'm striving for, so.
Give, for you, I remember when you came into the office, we were talking about it before, like how intentional you are about studying the landscape while you're cooking. When you see the landscape right now, like, where do you feel you currently stand? And what more do you feel like you have to do, if anything, to improve that standing?
As much as there's similarities between sports and music, that's one of the things I really don't compare. I look at it more like a garden. And it's different types of flowers that are there. I mean, some flowers are gonna be bigger than this flower, but it's just a different thing. Especially knowing that my sound is just a cocktail of all the music I grew up listening to. People compare my upbringing to someone else's upbringing and my personal stories to someone else's stories. I never actually rank it, but there are technical abilities that you can rank, like how well you put on a show, I guess how well you tell a story, just your uniqueness, your consistency. And I will say, if we're going off of technical and not just subjectiveness, I feel like I rank among the top.
Simon, obviously you're like super focused on the hip hop space, but obviously you haven't give, you operate in the R&B space. How do you feel about R&B this year in 2025? Because I think it's had an incredible year.
Yeah, for sure. I would say the past couple of years probably was a resurgence in R&B.
Yeah.
I would say, not to like diss the genre, I don't think it's ever been dead.
Yeah.
I don't even like when they would say R&B's back.
Right.
I just, objectively speaking, there was a resurgence in the past couple of years. I think it's in a great space. So many good artists that are like foundational R&B artists. Some of the older artists are still dropping music that is resonating with a lot of people. A lot of artists are dipping into R&B and dropping R&B projects that aren't R&B artists first, like Drake with the Party album. Then you have new artists that are dope. A lot of new R&B artists on the ups. And like Gibb said, I'll randomly just look on Spotify sometimes and see guys with like 10,000 monthly listeners. And I'm like, wow, the accessibility is at an all-time high. So like you could get a mic and like make crazy melodies and like you're an R&B artist at that point, right? It's like as soon as you upload it to a DSP and the world could hear it, TikTok with all these new apps, it's like you're one step away from mass success. That's a big reason for the resurgence. I think that's motivating other R&B artists. All these like new guys are coming up, new girls are coming up. It's like, wow, it's fire. The older R&B artists are like, wait, I gotta lock back in. It's almost like challenging them.
Yeah, for sure.
Back.
And it's like the way we could judge this year of R&B, we're probably gonna have to wait till 2030 and then judge this year to see what stood the test of time.
Because who knows what's to come.
Yeah.
Right. Shai, what's on your playlist, man? Because I know you operate in the Thunder playlist during the pregame, man. What you been bumping in 25?
Religiously, I listen to 4 artists. I listen to Give, Drake, Yachty, and Justin Bieber.
I like that list.
2 rappers, 2 singers.
I like the balance.
Yeah.
You playing that swag?
Yeah, those are like my defaults.
I think for me, one of the reasons why I thought this story was so compelling, I thought the juggling act that you and EK were able to do. Give's on tour. He's prepping for the season. What was a day-to-day operation trying to balance both at the same time?
It was a lot. And I think because we do a good job of staying together usually.
Yeah.
But I remember during the Western Conference Finals, Give had, what did you have in New York? Oh, you had album promo. Playback at Billboard, matter of fact.
Okay,
You with Carl. Remember, I wasn't there.
Because I was like, yo, where you at? And you were at his game.
Yeah.
You texted me.
I'm just like, you know what? I feel greatness coming from the Paycom Center right now. So EK stayed with Give, but that's like, she's like such a strong counterpart. It's not like you're missing a step.
Right.
Some people might argue you're gaining a step, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I was at the Paycom. That was the day Shai won Western Conference Finals MVP, made the finals. His nonchalant pick. That was I couldn't have missed that moment. And then EK was there for Give, Billboard album playbacks. You guys were blown away, clearly.
Yeah.
He was number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know what he must have got on the table, started singing, man. But we do a good job of trying to be everywhere together, and like also like realizing like Give is an artist, so he moves around a lot. He also has an incredible travel tour team around him as well, where it's like EK talks to them multiple times a day, every single day, and it's like you're basically there because like you can't be everywhere. Give's a touring artist. He's like about to be in Asia. He's about to be in Europe. You got to make sure the team around him doing that with him every day. There's like no holes in it. Have to be like the most elite, and he has a great team around him that correspond with us at the highest level. And if there's any type of hiccup, it gets corrected right away. And it's like Shai is a hooper, so he has his literal team around him, basketball team, staff who are excellent. So it's not like we have to be there in that regard. His sneaker's a huge part of his business. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
But it's taken a lot of time, and that's taken some in-person meetings and correspondence. So yeah, we've done a good job juggling 2 worlds. And not to mention, I also manage massive producers.
You have like a starting 5 of elite producers.
Yes.
How do you balance now cats behind the scenes
Exactly.
while managing front-facing superstars like these 2?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I want to put a name to the titles.
Of course.
Boy Wonder, OZ, John Sweet, Leon Thomas, Seven Thomas, incredible producers. I mean, yeah, those guys are massive hit makers in their own regard. Like, I'm talking about, like, massive. Like, we probably need another segment to talk about the stuff that they do. Producer world is so untapped. A lot of people don't understand how responsible producers and songwriters are for an artist's success. Because, the producer makes a song and they kind of part ways with their creation when the album gets submitted. The artist gets to tour, sell merch about the song. It could be like a producer can think of a concept of a song and then an artist will make a whole career off it, and that's just the way the industry goes. Obviously, we're on both ends of it, so I'm not complaining, but producers are so important in creating songs and albums. We manage a really, really special group of guys. They're obviously a lot more low maintenance than an artist. And Give's not even like super high maintenance. He's a great artist, but
I need stuff all the time. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would love a tea right now. But
Yeah, but the producers is like these are really, really in-demand producers as well. So it's not like these are like up-and-coming producers that you gotta like beg A&Rs or like publishing companies to be like, please, can you get Boy Wonder and OZ and John into it? It's like they're at the point where it's the other way around. So it's more like building their business off the court, out of the studio. They're at the point in their careers where they can be selective with who they work with, which is probably the number one blessing as a producer, where you could pick and choose who you want to work with.
What's the toughest battle each one of y'all have faced internally, and how did you go about overcoming it?
The ascension was so quick. I mean, I always was aware of my ability and my talent. I had a confidence to it, like a hubris to myself. But as I started to break through like a ceiling, I had a hard time removing that humility. Because there's a certain point where you have to get rid of that humility. Otherwise, it turns into impostor syndrome. You have to walk around like, yeah, I could sell out MSG in pre-sale. Otherwise, you're gonna make yourself smaller than you actually are.
Right.
I used to always tell the story of I was a server, but now I've been in music longer than I was a server, so I can't even say that story no more. I used to be like, can you believe it worked out? It really worked. Now it's like, bro, you can't keep saying that story. We all know it worked. You need a new story now. So that's the hardest part, is transitioning from like this to like, no, you're this thing now.
Telling people no and standing for what I actually want. By nature, I'm just like a very like laid back guy. I live my life, do what I'm supposed to do on a daily basis, take care of who I want to take care of, and like everything else in the past, I've just been like go with the flow and not really care. If it affected me, like if it was massive, obviously I would care. It wasn't like detrimental, I would like let it slide and like sort of say I was like getting taken advantage of because of my passive personality. And I think like I've just grown to understand like the people that I want around me are gonna be around me whether I tell them no or yes, and whether I let them know how I feel or don't. Doing so will just clear the room for the people that you really want around you and make life simpler. And Simon and EK have helped me with that tremendously through this process. I've definitely grown in that area the most.
Simon will definitely tell somebody no.
Oh yeah, the power of no. It's my favorite part. Yeah, now I kind
quick
of
to
wish
curve
I went for
cats.
Shai. nowhere near as good as that.
Your fault.
Yeah, for me, I think my number one internal battle has been complacency. I think since I started, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. It's something that's not front facing because obviously as a manager you can't show that. But especially when you're like preaching to your clients not to be complacent. But I mean, especially early on in my career, I think EK would tell me like I'm not where I should be, and I would look at her crazy kind of in the beginning of my career. And then when you look back at it, you're just like, oh yeah, like you weren't that crazy. So it's like, you know, it's easy to be complacent for all three of us. At the end of the day, it's like when you're like young and like you meet a certain level of success, I mean, it's kind of human nature to like be a little bit complacent. But that's why people that touch that level of greatness, it's a really small percentage of people because it's a different gear you have to kick into to like erase complacency and like ignore complacency and like not tell yourself like, I think I'm good here for a couple of years. And it's like, no, I need more or I want more. And sometimes it's okay to be complacent. I'm not saying don't be happy with where you're at. I also believe in living a little bit slow motion too and appreciating how far you've come. But that also gets mistaken sometimes with dwelling in where you are and being okay with how far you've come and not wanting more. That's what happens to the majority of people. And that's why it's a small percentage of like greatness. And like the vast majority is like, you know, middle ground.
Despite you three coming from different backgrounds, obviously different cultures, what does accountability look like amongst the three of y'all?
The truth.
Yeah.
At all times. That's how I would sum it up. Like no matter what, no matter how you think it's gonna make them feel, the truth.
100%, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little more emotional. Yeah, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So sometimes I'll need to go away and like, I need to write it out. And then I'll be like, I could look at it objectively. And then because I get stubborn.
See, that's a good question because that's the artist versus the athlete. Because Shai could take the harsh truth, but don't get it twisted. Shai will dish it too. At least to me. Yeah. He will dish the harsh. You've seen it during this whole shoot. He will dish the truth out, but he could take the harsh truth. Gibb's an artist. I have a lot of artist friends, and it's a pretty common thing amongst artists.
I need something sugar-coated.
Yeah, it's not even sugar-coated. It's just like what you said. Like you got to process, because like he might be super defensive when he first hears it, but he'll sit and let it register and be like, you know what, you're right. Where Shai, he'll dish it and he'll take it. But like, he wants the harsh truth.
I don't know.
That's the biggest difference between the two worlds in terms of accountability.
I don't know how you develop that. Like sometimes I'll watch some of your post games before I go on.
Oh no, his post games, he'll take accountability for things that legit were not his fault at all. And I'll be listening to him like, I mean, that definitely wasn't your fault. But that's like he's over accountable. Like it's good too. It's to a fault sometimes.
Because I was gonna say, obviously, again, music and sports different but similar. The art form.
Yeah.
You guys also are, as artists, sensitive about your shit.
Yeah, I'm super sensitive. Especially because all of my songs start as a journal entry first. So it's an actual thing that it's still raw and sensitive. It's an actual thing. So imagine it's like I make a song about this actual thing that happened. And they're like, that sucked. I'm like, how my feelings suck? It's just an expression. I'm like, nah, your feelings are dumb. So it's just like, and my name is like, my artist name is my actual name. I regret doing that all the time. Because if someone was like, oh, Big Willie Man sucked, I'd be like, dang, they don't like Big Willie Man. But that's like a caricature. Like everything I do is actually me. So I just get like, I'm so sensitive with certain stuff, but they're all honest. So that's why I know if I send something and everyone likes it, it's actually like, okay, we have something.
It's fire.
Like he said, if we all agree that this is fire and the world hates it, I trust everyone's taste around me so much that I would be like, the world is tripping.
They'll catch up to it.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll see.
That's real. Shai, where did you get this tough, I guess, skinned mentality, you know, in terms of like being able to absorb criticism?
I like to say my parents.
Okay.
Like my parents were always like, no excuse in our household. We couldn't come home and make excuses for whatever it was. We got in trouble at school. We played bad at a tournament on the weekend. Like everything was, did you do what you can control? That's all that they really cared about. X, Y, and Z, whoever, reasons for this, faults for this, like none of that had to do with anything. Don't bring that in the house. Don't say it. Don't talk about it. What did you do and did you control it? That's all that was like really taught to me and my brother at a very young age. We'd come home from a basketball game. We could like lose by 20, but both of us have like 20 and 15 at like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Which is like, damn, it's like 40. It was our faults being the best players on the team. And like, so just like things like that, it's just like instilled in us now. Heavy wears the crown.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
Simon, when you look at AILA from when you first started it to now, is this what you envisioned?
Yeah, honestly, more or less, for sure. And I think it's because I was able to control it, because we don't recruit clients. AILA was very like a family-oriented type of company where it's like everyone always asks like, don't you want to expand and do this and partner up with this big box company? But it's like I feel like you lose touch of like what my clients are my friends. You know, that's the main thing. I could like call my clients, chill with my clients. I met some of my clients playing video games early on when I was 18, 17, 16. They're all my friends. That's that unique approach that I feel like I'd never want to be this big box company manager, owner, where it's like I have a manager hiree that has 3 clients that I talk to at a Christmas party only. And I don't even know them. It's just not my idea for what I want. It's not fulfilling to me. You go harder for people when they're people you actually like care about and they're your friends. I've gotten in front of huge companies and burnt relationships, to be honest, for myself, because I was standing up for clients. When you're that intertwined with your clients and you love them that much, the longevity of the relationship of whatever brand doesn't matter, because it's like, I'm gonna live and die on the sword with my client. And you lose that when you start to turn into more of a company versus like a family. When you're a company, it's like, I can't burn this client for GIVEON shit, because London OZ might need a deal from them one day. You stop prioritizing the client's best interest and you start thinking about your own, where it's like, yeah, it's just not the approach I ever envisioned for myself.
Is the goal to still scale it though?
I mean,
When you think about sports and music, knowing what you have right now.
scaling is a word I don't like to use, because if we want to scale it, it's like, you could only imagine like
Right.
Shai and GIVE. You can imagine how many people are coming forward like, hey, and I'm not saying we're against growing. It's just comfortably growing. I don't like using the word scale. Scale, like scale to growth, looks like you're thinking about numbers. It's
Right.
never been my thing, ever. Because I could have did things a million different ways if that's all I cared about. Growing comfortably, maybe. You know, like both of them like are growing in their own regards, which helps us grow. Like Shai has the hottest sneaker out right now, a basketball shoe that you can wear off the court. That's growth in itself. We grow with that. Gibbs just sold out MSG, turning into an arena artist. He's growing in his own regard. We got to grow with that. Our team has to be bigger to support both things. I don't think scaling necessarily means add 10 more clients or hire 15 new managers. I get a lot of DMs. I'm not trying to say I'm turning everybody back. I'm just saying growing comfortably is more my goal. And I think individual growth for everybody is more important than just adding a bunch of people. It doesn't really do anything for me.
If each of you could pick one word to title this chapter in your life, what word would that be and why?
Consistency.
Why consistency?
Because life is much better.
Okay.
And I see what consistency does for people around me. I used to confuse consistency with burnout. So sometimes I would burn myself out. Consistency can also just be being consistent with any level of what it is that you're doing.
Right.
And then it just translates to everything. That was the biggest shift, where I feel like I was like going from here to here and had to be like, oh, it's because I didn't own the consistency of it. I would be like working on something, but now I am this thing. So the consistency is just naturally gonna be there. I'm gonna have a tea and write some music after this.
I love that.
That's just because what I do.
Get right back to it.
Yeah, that's just what I do.
For me, I think the word is a word we touched on, growth. My own personal growth, the growth of AILA, the clients, my growth as a man, you know? I think that's probably the word that I want to own in on most, and I have been. But going forward into this new era.
Shai?
Balance. The reason this all works and the reason all these things and the growth are possible is because the balance that Simon and Ike have displayed. Simon just said like all his clients are his friends and it's like a family. We all know in business, blurring those lines makes things very tricky. And they do a amazing job of not blurring those lines. And when it's time to be family, we're family. And when it's time to handle business, we handle business. Seeing that balance unfold has helped me channel that in other aspects of my life. Like Giv just said, like consistency and things like that aren't always burnout. Early in my career, for example, like I used to be in the gym after a back-to-back. I used to like be in the gym nonstop. And I had to find that like pleasant balance of like shooting the right amount, shooting the right shots, and not shooting too much, and making sure that like I still have it for the game, and just trying to figure that out. So yeah, the balance that Simon and Ike have displayed through this journey so far has helped me my whole life.
Well, gentlemen, that is a wrap. Congratulations for all the success, and I know there's more to come.
Oh yeah.
So definitely appreciate y'all for kicking it with us, especially for the sports and music issue. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.